Hi everyone, I'm Razvan Enake, a copywriter and journalist for over 10 years. As a fintech enthusiast, I host one of the most significant events on fintech and digital banking in Romania, the Future Banking Conference. But enough about me. Let me ask you something. Have you ever created a website, a sales letter, or maybe a blog post and you've been disappointed by the traffic, engagement, or leads you've got? Simply put, people didn't read your content or buy your product. I must say that in my career as a journalist, I had many disappointments with the content I created. I remember my first website. It was a blog about healthy eating. I thought that all the ideas and advice I was spending hours writing down would go to the people's heart and I'll have hundreds of comments and thousands of page views. Well, not really. I had to wait for 2 years for a decent amount of traffic, but I've learned some good lessons about compelling content. I was young, so I may consider it my learning journey. But what about you? If you are into the fintech business, you know that you operate in a fast paced world where startups die and are being replaced overnight. Can you afford to have a boring copy or a crappy website? I guess not. Nowadays, people don't read web pages, they scan web pages. So you have their attention for a minimal amount of time, few seconds at most, and they bounced. Jacob Nielsen, one of the fathers of usability and UX research, said that on average web page users have time to read at most 28% of the words during a visit, but 20 is more likely. Here are some interesting figures based on research. On average, 70% of the buying decision is made online before someone contacts a business for the first time. This figure is based on data generated by Google for research in 2011. I expect the number to be higher now with the growth of social media platforms, Reddit, and other means through which customers can easily find reviews or chat with other customers before buying your product or service. The internet changed everything, and every information is at a Google away. More recent studies say that 67% of the buyer's journey is now digital, and 84% of CEOs and vice presidents use social media to make purchasing decisions. So it's obvious that you have to think seriously about how to make prospects pay attention. Otherwise, your business will have a chance to become memorable, like finding a needle in a haystack. You could have the best product in the world or the most innovative solution that will make your customers happier or richer, but if you can't get visitors interested in reading what you have to say, all of your work could be in vain. That's why words matter more than you think. Harry Ashbridge, a writer for Monzo and the creator of the tone of voice for this awesome fintech, recently said that people drastically underestimate the impact of words. I don't think you have a brand if you haven't thought seriously about words you use. Of course, you could say that all words are equal, but some words are more equal than others, if I may amend the famous quote from Orwell's Animal Farm. That's why you need compelling copy on the website, sales letter, newsletter, and social media. And when you do that, the copy will become your online salesman 24/7, and at the end of the year, it won't ask for a bonus. You can write it once and for all. Now you will tell me, okay, Rizvan, but how do I do that? How do I get my website visitors to read and not scan? Copywriting is not an art, despite what ad men want you to think. It's based on persuasion strategies and a lot of research on how your brain works. There are little secrets you will find right now, and with these easy to understand tricks, you could transform your website, blog, or sales messages right away. You will make your words sell more and convert readers into buyers. And to best keep these secrets in your mind, I will show you lots of examples from tech companies and fintechs that I hope will inspire you and convince you that words matter. Let's find out, starting with the value proposition in the tagline. Secret 1. Find a unique and compelling value proposition. Not having a value proposition expressed on your website's first page is like writing a book without a title. The value proposition is your critical headline on your website, and it must be a distinct and memorable statement about what's unique and highly desirable at your product or solution. If you can make it intriguing and brief, that will be gold. Your readers have to be hooked by the first sentence because 8 out of 10 people will read only the headline. So a headline or a tagline is not just words that sound good, They promise the readers that it will be worth spending more time on the website and read the second sentence. Here's a good example from 11FS. The B2B consulting and research firm has a short and compelling value proposition, perfectly defined in the headline and subheadings. It's impossible not to be curious about why digital financial services are only 1% finished. The promise for the prospect is right after the big headline. You have to squint your eyes, but you will do it because the headline was so intriguing. 11FS promises that they will build the 99% of the next generation of financial services. Here's another trick. The message contains a number, and it has been documented that placing a number in the headlines, either a blog title, a newsletter subject, or an ad, will get you more eyeballs. Secret 2. Speak about benefits, not features. There's a debate around benefits versus features. Still, the smart copywriters know that you should focus on benefits because benefits tell the user what your product will do for them and zero in on the problems that your product or solution solves. Features are generally more technical, and it's best to use them only when the customers are at a high stage of awareness and for those looking for specifications. For most readers or customers, it's important to define the problem that you help them solve or the dreams they could achieve. If you are not sure how to distinguish between them, here's the takeaway. A feature is what your product does. A benefit is what the customer can do with your product. A good example to stress this concept is the Surface Pro announcement. The benefit is what the customer can do with the product. In this case, the customer can replace the bulky laptops at that time with a thin, lightweight tablet. Secret 3. Speak in customer's voice. You can forget all the tips and tricks about copywriting as long as you follow this simple rule. Speak in the customer's voice. You can notice that I use the word speak, not write, because the secret to connect with your audience is to have a friendly and authentic conversation. Don't think like a businessman when you communicate with your customers. Take the Robin Hood example. The tagline is so simple and for everyone to understand. Then it simply states the benefits, commission-free investing for the ultimate goal of making your money work harder for you. Everyone could understand that. Don't you think that Robin Hood could say that you can access tradable assets, ETFs, derivatives, and other financial products, gold or crypto? But they decided to speak as simple as possible to resonate with a lot of potential clients who are not accustomed to the investing jargon. Another example to have in mind. Steve Jobs, when he first introduced the iPhone in 2007, didn't say welcome to the smartphone era, because smartphones were not common knowledge at that time. It even mocked the so-called smartphones. He relied on an easy-to-understand concept and he simply said, today Apple is going to reinvent the phone. One more thing, always make sure from the first glance that it's about your clients, not about you. In the famous book Ogilvy on Advertising, there's a fascinating quote. Do not address your readers as though they are gathered together in a stadium. When people read your copy, they are alone. Pretend you are writing each of them a letter, one human being to another, second person, singular. Secret 4. Don't use jargon. People love simple stories. You can see now another excellent example from Apple, a company that made a story around every new product. And of course they avoided jargon, buzzwords, and speaking much about features. This is the first iPod. When everyone else was saying 1 GB storage, Apple preferred to say 1000 songs in your pocket. A few years later, when introducing the new iPhone, Apple copywriters struck again with a fascinating headline. On the stage, Steve Jobs defined the iPhone music capabilities in just 3 words: touch your music. Remember that in 2007, the touchscreen was an innovation, so once again Apple made a story around the future. The Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman once said that no one ever decided because of a number they need a story. Especially if you are in a B2C business, you have to know that people don't buy products, they buy better versions of themselves. Therefore, when you start using technical vocabulary or a business jargon, you're not showcasing how smart you are. You are creating stopping points where a prospect may close the browser or move to the next search result. Not all readers are scientists or techies, and even if they are, they will still prefer to read simple benefits wrapped around the story. Secret 5. Use persuasion tactics. Now you will see an older version of Revolut's first page. Besides a short and straightforward value proposition that promises a radically better account, Revolut is tapping into some interesting persuasion strategies. And I will briefly analyze them. First, this message makes you fear losing money due to banks' charges on spending or transfer money abroad. We know from the persuasion father Robert Cialdini that we are risk averse, so we hate to lose money. People seem to be more influenced by losing something than by the thought of gaining something of equal value. There's another hidden gem of persuasion in these two sentences. We hear that over 4 million people avoid losing money with Revolut. This is social proof at work. When you know that others have a product or solution, you will be more inclined to try it. It's just how we are wired, and the copywriter should know these mental hacks to convince readers to become clients. Secret number 6. Don't forget the call to action. It may seem ridiculous to place many call to action on the website, but the conversion rates are way better if you tell readers what to do. Here's how Monzo uses the call to actions on the front page. Either you have a sign up, a get a bank account button, or claim your free stock. Every page should have a call to action. I will stop by this tagline because it's another lesson to learn about the importance of words and testing your value propositions. Harry Ashbridge, the writer from Monzo that I've quoted before, said in an interview that Monzo got 15% more conversions, orders for a card, by changing only 3 words on the website. Before Banking Made Easy tagline, Monzo used to say Bank of the Future and was getting 40,000 clients a week. They tested new taglines that better reflected their value proposition and decided on Banking Made Easy, which immediately attracted 15% more customers. I've seen many fintech startups in Romania focusing so much on the technology side of their businesses, maybe investing some in the web design. Still, they completely ignore the words on the website. The big fintech players who reach millions of customers employ writers who thoroughly scan every word on the website and try to make it better. You should be convinced that words matter and conversion rates could skyrocket by sometimes changing only a few words. Secret number 7. Find your purple cow. Don't be afraid to be different. Imagine that you are competing in an overcrowded market and every website has almost the same copy. Each company's product is cutting edge, everyone is doing innovation, and of course you all put your customer first. Many buzzwords that don't say much, and customers may begin to doubt these words are sincere. How do you stand out from the crowd? Looking into Seth Godin's purple cow concept, imagine that you are driving down the road and you see a cow. And you keep moving because you've seen cows before. Cows are invisible, cows are boring. Who will stop and say, oh look, a cow? Nobody. But if the cows were purple, you'd notice them. That's why your copy must be remarkable, and you don't have to follow the crowd in using the buzzwords or write the same words to be in line with all the competitors. Find your purple cow. Secret number 8. If you can, show your customer what's in it for him. Another secret to convince your prospect that your product or solution could make his life better is to show him how. You know the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. To grasp how powerful this concept is, let me show you an image and tell you the story behind it. Neville Medora, a copywriter from Austin, Texas, noticed a shoe hospital, a workshop that puts new life into old shoes. With just a small investment to buy a board sign in front of the store and the before and after image, she managed to increase new customers' walk-in traffic by 50% overnight. This result was achieved literally with just 2 words and an image. Before and after are probably 2 of the most powerful words in advertising. So if you can, show your reader what's in it for him in photos or videos. We already know that we don't read anymore, but scan websites, newsletters, or indulge in endless scrolling on social media. From a Nielsen Norman research on how people read websites, we found that 79% of the users always scanned any new page they came across, and only 16% read word by word. A newer study found that users read emails, newsletters even more abruptly than they read websites. So you have to make your content scannable, and one of the best ways to do that is through bullet points, subheadings, or bolding some words. Bullet points act as speed bumps on the road. They slow the scanning behavior, attract more eyeballs on the text, and make the customer spend more time reading. Use bullet points to highlight your product or solution's benefits, like Robinhood does on this page, or pinpoint important details, features of your product. Well, that was my brief presentation. Just to wrap it up, you can find words that connect with your audience and convert readers into buyers. Stories will do the connection part, but it has to be a true story, while persuasion and conversion copywriting will make you sell more. Mix these ingredients right and you will hit the jackpot. Thank you very much.